It's I'm a Prairie Girl. Today I am at Lime Creek Nature Center in Sarasota County, northern Iowa. It is the third weekend April, and I am looking for woodland ephemerals. And right in front of you here, we have the Dutchmens Breeches. And they are one of people's favorite springtime flowers in the woods. Maybe it's because they're the easiest to identify, but also maybe because they're so unique. As you can see, they look like a little pair of pants hanging on a clothesline, and that's where the name Dutchmens Breeches comes from. They like the woods, they like very fertile soil, and they also, you're going to find them along rocky ridges, ravines, kind of on a riverbank, and that's exactly where I'm at. Actually, these guys are right up next to a limestone ridge here, and right below me is the Winnebago River. So they're right where all the books and all the guides say that they should be. Now, Dutchmens Breeches grows to be about 4 to 8 inches high. It is an ephemeral, and if I identify ephemeral, that is a plant that grows in the springtime before the leaves on the trees bloom, and so it gets the dapple sun from the leafless trees, and then it's all done blooming, usually 2 to 3 weeks of bloom time. It's all done blooming by the time the leaves bloom and the trees. And so once the trees have their leaves and the forest floor is now shaded, the Dutchmens Breeches is done blooming. As you can see, they're white flowers, and each flower usually has between 4 to 12 flowers. Each flower is about 3/4 inches long, and they have 4 petals. And the 2 petals the first 2 petals are white, and they are the ones that look like they're forming the pant legs to the pair of breeches, or the pantaloons. And then the other 2 flowers are kind of a pale yellow color, and they're at the bottom, or at the waist of the pair of pants, and they kind of spur out like wings, and so those are towards the bottom of the flower. As you can see, the stem on these are drooping. As the plant comes up, it has a very bare, light pink, light brown stem. It comes up erect, and the flowers come off of that one stem. Each flower has its own stem that comes between the 2 pant legs, I'll call them, between those 2 petals. Once again, the main stem comes up erect, and then once the flowers start to weigh it down, it starts to bend or to curve, giving it that neat look of I don't know, say again, pants on a clothesline, but they actually kind of look like birds flying in a line. The leaves are very delicate. They're basal leaves, meaning they just are at the base of the plant. They're very divided. They divide up into 3 segments, and each of those are very divided. And so it gives the leaves kind of a very fragile, fern-like appearance with all the dividing of the leaves. The leaves are a light green to a bluish green color. Another name for Dutchmens Breeches is stagger plant. It apparently is toxic to cattle and goats and sheep, and if they eat too much of it, they will start to stagger or appear as if they were drunk. The plant does belong to the bleeding heart family, which you can kind of tell it has a resemblance of a bleeding heart, the way the flowers are hanging. Another plant that you might find in the woods that is similar to this would be squirrel corn. Squirrel corn flowers are a light pink and a little bit more heart-shaped. They're much more rare than Dutchmens Breeches, and so mostly if you see this plant, you're probably going to be seeing Dutchmens Breeches. I have yet to find squirrel corn. That's on my wish list, or my bucket list. Dutchmens Breeches have a real small tubular bulb like root system, and one legend regarding Dutchman breeches is that if a Indian or a Native American brave takes part of a Dutchman breeches plant and hits a woman with it, that she will then be under his love charm. The other thing regarding going back to the bulb is that they would dig up the bulbs and they would chew on them, and that would freshen their breath, and then they would circle around the woman they were interested in, and then she would follow him wherever he wanted her to go. And that's the folklore about Dutchman breeches. The one really cool thing I found about Dutchman breeches is that they have a small seed that the ants find very desirable. They will take the seeds and carry them back to their anthill, and they like the outside layer of that seed, and so they eat off the outside layer, and then they leave the actual seed in their anthill, and that is how the Dutchman breeches seeds get dispersed and how new plants are formed. Okay, so like I said, the Dutchman breeches grows in the woods. You're usually going to find them along a trail where there's some sunlight, in rocky areas, along a river. So it is April. You still have time to get out and find Dutchman's breeches through May. I don't know if you could hear that turkey gobbling. It is also turkey season. Beautiful things to see out in the woods in the springtime. This is Ira Prairie Girl, and I hope that you have the chance to get out and see something wonderful.